Yo, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
I really, 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 really want to see Dia guest star.
I wanna really, really, really wanna zig a zig ah.
And I really, really, really wanted to be here, so I invited myself over. Thank you, Reno and Carolyn, for having me.
You're quite welcome.
We're here to talk about
Lots
of different things. Wonderful childhood memories tied to Electracy.
Yes. So obviously we used Spice Girls Wannabe. Originally we had a different song planned, but then we realized that we really, really, really wanted Dia, and it just fit so perfect. But part of the reason we brought that up is because we think that that song is a pumpkin for anyone our age. It's probably the first music that I really, really remember getting into. I had everything that was related to Spice Girls. I wanted to go to their concert so bad, and I was so sad that I didn't get to go to the reunion a couple years ago.
Me too.
Right? So that kind of gets us talking. We started our conversation going off about kind of like TV themes, and we will continue that right now.
Yeah. So I'm going to do an experiment. All right, are you ready? Okay.
Ready.
Okay, we're going to see what happens because I think I know what's going to happen. So this is a story all about how my leg got twisted upside down. That leg sick just sit right here. No, it kind of happened.
I know it, but I don't know. I can't rap, so I never met.
I don't have the lyrics, but I do have a fun story related to that. That is the song that used to put me to sleep when I was a baby.
Okay.
My mom used to put it on, and I apparently used to fall asleep to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Woo! I hope you guys have all seen that video of Will Smith on the Graham Norton show, completely doing it off the cuff.
If not, we should.
He completely did it straight. I will link it.
Yeah,
I will link that video because it is awesome. And then going off of that, we also probably the first one that popped into all of our heads, and I'm hoping some of you guys too, was Friends.
Yeah, I know. Who doesn't recognize those opening chords? Even though throughout the years they remixed it, and you can hear it because they recut it and they bring in different parts and emphasize it, we still recognize those opening chords, even though it's been like 20 years since it first came on, right?
Yeah.
A little more, actually, I think.
But that's interesting because it's not something that I think used to happen so much. But they know that that'll kind of invoke that response in their audience, right? So whoever the video editors, right, know that we're still going to have that same response from hearing the song. And so they know that they can update it for a newer generation, and that the people who've been hearing it for years and years won't be as upset. And that happens with a lot of TV theme songs.
But actually not happening anymore. TV theme songs are kind of going away, and it's very sad. I know that I love theme songs. I might get annoyed at them if I'm marathoning a show for, 6 days, because I do that. But in general, theme songs, they invite you into a time and place. They situate you where you need to go.
Okay, so we were reading about choric invention as well, and how we participate in invention. I mean, anytime you comment on a YouTube video, right, or anytime you comment on a Facebook post, or you retweet something, you're contributing to its creation. You're inventing, so you're reinventing constantly. Even if you don't think of it that way, when you comment on a picture that thousands of other people have commented on, that's been reblogged, right? You're still adding a different perspective to it. You're reinventing it. You're looking at it from a different point of view, and you're contributing to the creation of that as a text, which is something that's really unique to Electracy. And I think you see that a lot. I mean, even just if you comment on this video, right? That's something you are adding to what's already there, and you're reinventing it.
And I think that, going along with Carolyn, that ties back into the idea of Electracy of the teacher and the student, if we're thinking about it in terms of like rhetoric and composition. And like we were discussing a little earlier off camera, like as you're forming and you're inventing for, say, a video, something that's multimodal, if we want to give credit to someone, we'll say, we'll put in the links, right? Versus, like Carolyn was saying, in an academic context and in a literate paper, as you're discussing in class, you have to position yourself as an active member in that conversation. You have to put it textually without just drawing from examples. Here we can link things and establish our ethos. And that's our logos, right?
And you're part of you're part of a community. You don't have to establish yourself in that setting. Or the easiest way to establish yourself as part of a conversation is hashtags, right? So just by hashtagging, that's you saying, this is me participating in a conversation that's already out there. And so in academia, we do that, and in digital culture and Electracy, that's so easy. It's so easy to position yourself in a conversation. As soon as you hashtag it, everybody knows that conversation is already out there. Right? If I hashtag it Cinnamon Challenge, and you've never heard of the Cinnamon Challenge, if you click on that link, you can quickly see that it's a conversation that's already been going on for a while.
For better or for worse.
To almost play devil's advocate on this, we're assuming that you guys are going to go to the links that we're talking about, or at least possibly click on them and look at them for 10 seconds. Whereas in a paper, if you plop it on the page, they have to read it to get to the next part. So that is the downside, almost, to this type of participating in the conversation, because you can't, not guarantee, but you can't force someone to read it. Whereas if I was talking about this and I say, okay, so this person was saying this, blah, 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 you're going to have to read it to get to what I want to say about the argument. To point out why I think this is important. Whereas here, I'm just assuming that you're going to at least go check it out. So you might not actually have any reference point because you wouldn't check anything out.
And I might counter with that, saying that when you're positioning that person in that paper, you have to assume that your audience is at least slightly familiar with it, or they're going to take what you interpret that author's words at face value. If they don't look it up on their own, like if our viewers don't go click on the links, they just have to go off of our word. So again, like,
which could be fun.
Totally believe us. Go try some cinnamon.
So this year, NSYNC reunited at the VMAs, and we noticed that there were a lot of people were posting about how there were these Twitter posts where a bunch of people said that they had no idea who NSYNC was. They had no idea that JT was ever in anything else, right?
Makes our hearts ache, and also makes me feel really old.
And so when Sarah was talking about songs that she gets a response from that later generations don't, this is the song that we thought of.
Part of our personal pop cycle, and probably some of yours too.
Yeah.
Whether you wanted it to be or not.
So, bye-bye.
Bye-bye-bye.